All right, so let's take a look into how we can do some scaling with our app service. This is only available if you have beyond standard or standard and beyond, so standard and premium and etc. So if we just search for scale, we have two options here. We have scale up and scale out. So scale up is pretty straightforward. That just means to make our instance larger. And so we already did that when we upgraded from our standard, our B1 over to our S1 here, right? So if I was to go here, and I'm not going to do that, but if I was to do that and upgrade, that would be scaling up, right? And notice that we're talking about scaling. So right now we're limited to 10 instances, which is totally fine. But now let's take a look at scaling out. So if we go to scale out here and go to custom auto scale, what we can do is we can scale based on a metric. So we can add or remove servers based on the demand of the current web application's traffic. So we're only paying for servers when we need them. And so we have a minimum of 1, a maximum of 2. That seems fine to me, but we're going to add a rule here. And I want to scale this on the maximum time. We're going to do it on CPU percentage. I just want to have a very easy way to trigger this so we can see a scaling event in action. Here it has a maximum of 16%. I might just lower that down even further. Will it let me type in there? No. So 16% is what it's going to have to be. It's not a big deal, but I am going to reduce it down to, actually, I think, sorry, I don't know why I was going here. The metric threshold to scale an action, I'm going to put it at 10%, sorry. Okay. So here's that line. And so we have and I like how you can drag it, but you can kind of have an idea that we have a high chance of having this triggered. I just want to do this so that we have a good chance. So if I was to put it here, you can notice that it's very easy for us to spike our traffic and cause a scaling event. Now I'm going to set the duration to 1 minute, so we have a much higher chance of triggering that there. Okay. Set a duration less than 5 minutes may generate transient spikes. Yeah, that's fair, but I mean, I just want to show you a trigger happen. And we need a cooldown time probably, and it's set to 5 minutes, so that's totally fine. We're going to add 1, and that looks fine to me. I'm going to set this to maximum. Okay, and so now we're very likely to trigger that there. We'll go ahead and hit add that instance there. And so now that we have that, we're going to go ahead and save that. And so now that that's there, what we want to do is actually trigger a scaling event. And so where we're going to see that is under the monitoring tab. So if we go to monitoring, and what we're going to do is go over to, it should be in, sorry, I forgot, the place where we need to go take a look here is actually in the run history here. So if we go here and check 1 hour, we can see how many instances are running. And I think if I dial it back here, it should show me over time as it changes. We do have a scale up event that has happened, which happened, I guess, 4 minutes ago. So I guess it gives you kind of an idea of how many instances are running, which right now are 2. So maybe our maybe our scaling event is not in the best use case there because it's happening too frequently. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and modify that scaling rule. And so I'm just going to go back and click here, and maybe we'll just make it so it is less aggressive. So what I'm going to do is just change it so it's over the duration of 5 minutes. And I'm going to just put it right above here so that it goes back to 1. Okay. And we'll go ahead and save that. And so now if we go back to our run history here, it still shows that it has 2, as you can see here, but I want to see this drop back down to 1. So it's going to check every 5 minutes or within the span of 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is just wait here, and I'll see you back in a bit until we see a scaling action happens here, okay? Yeah, I'm just sitting here waiting for it to scale down, and I don't see it going, so it makes me think that I need to go ahead and set a scale down action. Let's take a look at the one that we currently have. So this one is set, oh, you can see it's still spiked. We don't even have anything going on here, but what I'm going to do is just be really aggressive here. And I'm going to say when it's 50%, okay? And so here, we'll go back here and I'll save that. And I just wanted to see if it scales down. I shouldn't have to set a scale down action, it should just go. And what I'm actually going to do is be a little bit more aggressive. I know I'm setting a lot of stuff here, but I'm going to just set it to duration of 1 minute. so we can see this a lot sooner. And we will go back to our run history here, and we'll see if we observe a scale down. All right, so it's not scaling down here, but I think it's probably because I need to scale out action. So what we'll do is go ahead and add a new rule. This thing, if we go here and we just look at it, it's not going to decrease it unless we have a scale out action. So I don't think it's necessary for us to set one here. I think you get the idea. But that's for scaling. So we're all done here with Azure App Services. All we got to do is go ahead and delete it. So let's go ahead and delete our app here. Okay. So there's a few different ways we can do it. I'm going to do it via resource groups. I believe we called it Voyager here. So we'll click into that. And I'm going to go ahead and delete the resource group. And here is all the related services. And so I will type in Voyager. And there we go. Great. And so, yeah, there we go.